fourth graders. This is Teamersma here to teach you lesson number 6 for Writing Club. This is the last lesson for informational writing, and then next week we're going to start on story writing. So I feel like I've taught you a lot. We've learned introductions, elaboration, transitions. Last time was text features, which I hope you did. That's always fun. And today I'm going to teach you that each chapter should have an introduction and a conclusion, because each chapter is kind of like its own little thing. It's its own topic. And so you kind of want to introduce your topic and end your topic. And I'm going to show you how to do that. I can see where it'd be a little bit tricky, but I know you can do it. So here's the page that I put in your reading, writing, learning packet. Sorry. And so the target is each chapter needs a good introduction and conclusion. And this is just some hints. So here are 3 different ideas on how you can end each chapter. You could end with a strong statement. This one's about Harry Potter. It says, the Harry Potter series is by far the best book series written in our generation. So kind of like your opinion, your strong statement. Or you can give advice. If you ask me, I think you should march down to the library this instant and check out the entire Harry Potter series. Or you can ask your readers a question, kind of like maybe you did at the beginning. Have you thought about what book comes next on your reading list? Consider reading the Harry Potter series. And here's some really great transitions that you could use to end, do that last conclusion paragraph. You say, in conclusion, in summary, to wrap it up. Next time, don't forget, all in all, in my opinion, if you want my advice, hope you agree with me, definitely, always. It's clear that the main thing to remember is, okay, that was a lot. I'm going to show you one more thing before we get writing on my chapter book. And this is the information writing checklist, which is a little bit different than what you've seen. It's the same words, it just has pictures to it. So it has the lead, like we already talked about, and transitions, which we've already talked about. And now we're on this section right here about endings. And I like this little graphic right here, so that's why I chose to show you this informational checklist. So it says, I wrote an ending that reminded readers of my subject and may have suggested a follow-up action, or left readers with a final insight. I added my thoughts, feelings, and questions about this subject at the end. So these will give you some hints on how you can end your each chapter. So I'm going to just show you on this chapter number 1 in my American Revolution book. I had a really good introduction, and then I just had a couple sections about the French and Indian War, the taxes, and then the Patriots and the Loyalists, which we did last time. So I am going to always go back to right here. You can go back to left justified. I don't want that centered. And then I'm going to write my my conclusion for this chapter. Here is my conclusion for chapter 1 that I wrote. And I used one of the ideas from the paper in your learning packet I started with. The main thing I want you to remember is that there were some major events that started the American Revolution. The French and Indian War cost Great Britain a lot of money, which caused them to force the colonists to pay a lot of taxes, which caused the colonists to want independence from Britain. Okay, so right there, I just reviewed what I wrote about. I basically said it again in a shorter way. It's okay to kind of repeat yourself in your writing because that helps your reader remember what's important. That's like my main idea. So I repeated that. Then I left my readers with my final thoughts. First I repeated about patriots and loyalists. I say the colonists that wanted to be separate were called patriots. If I lived back then, I think I would be a patriot. How about you? So I left readers with my final thoughts, and then I asked my readers a question. So how are you going to end each chapter? You should go back and reread it and see if you can just add a little paragraph to end to finish up each chapter. Just kind of review, what did you teach them on that page? So I'm really excited to see, all of us, like Mrs. Leibel's excited to see her students writing, and I'm excited to see my students writing, and Miss Desmond's excited to see her students' writings. So really work on finishing them up and go back and read through the whole thing and see what needs to be fixed. Use your checklist and maybe even read it to your parents and see what they think, or your brothers or sisters. It's always good to read it out loud to hear how it sounds. So keep up the great work, and I'll see you next week with a lesson on stories. Okay? Bye!